gave me a bigger worldview when I was in a place that do not even promote it. That in the next 100 years, I can't even know those things. And so when I became a Christian, and I sit under your teaching, and I get substance, by the time what you are saying collides with that broad perspective I have, what I do is not to get it hook, line, and center, but the broad view you have about life just is ceiling. It just sees. The moment it hits the surface, okay, I take some of you back to physics class. How many of you are physicists here? How many of you read physics? Okay, I'll remind you. You know reflection, brother? You know refraction, diffraction, and the rest of that. I remember one of the definitions of refraction is, pardon me, Samuel, I'm not giving you a new age definition, but the whole definition. It is when you see an object hits a pervious membrane. There's one word we use in a pervious. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that there is a percolation that happens when something drops on a refractive surface. For reflection, the moment it hits it, it's sent it back. For those of you who know physics. But if it is refraction, it goes down. Am I complicated? So what I'm saying is that if you have a holistic view of life, you don't take everything you hear hook, line, and sinker. What it does for you, that broader view, holistic view of life you have, it's like a refractive surface. And so when anything gets in there, before it percolates, some operation takes place. You see it. And then you now begin to sort. You sort things out. What they just said now, what my mathematics teacher, what my spiritual teacher just said now, how does it work? And the beauty of it is, there is a book that helps you, that if you are a good student of that book, it is only the content of that book that stands the test of time and can withstand all ages. But anything outside that, born out of human perception, reasoning, opinion, they do not last because they will change with time. And so it assisted me to have a very good perspective about life. So when you tell me something, I'll tell you, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I won't disobey you. Transformers don't argue. Disruptors don't argue. They need time. They have a lot of things to do than to be arguing with anybody. They don't win arguments. Rather, they bring results to the table. When they bring the outcomes of what they do will shut your mouth out for life. So when you point to someone and say, look at this rebellious one here. Okay, wait for a while. We will know who a rebellious one is. By the time that rebellious person with a broader view of life, the only trouble he has with you is that he has just challenged the status quo. That's what he has just done. He challenged the status quo, and challenging the status quo is not evil. That's a curious mind. You should be encouraged. My daughter came to me and said, Daddy, you forced me to do hard mathematics, further mathematics. I said, yes. That's what my father did for me. You must do it. I want you to be very intelligent. And so she came to me one day with a problem and said, Daddy, it's cracking. I said, I want your head to crack. You must crack. My own did not even crack. My father he didn't crack it internally. My father will crack it outside so that advance will sing. Because I knew if you know advance, you know the Argand diagram, you know all those things, economics will be easy for you at advanced level and several other subjects. And so recently, she came back again and said, Daddy, I'm enjoying it now. You enjoyed it, and I disappointed her. I said, there are still terrible things ahead of you. You've not started further math. What you have only done is introduction to further math. Expect more headache. Expect more sleepless night. If you challenge status quo, you don't transform. It doesn't make you a rebellious person. But bring out results. Those people will shut their mouth. And so the point is, the first thing disruptors do, the first things transformers do, pacesetters, what they do, reformers, what they do, is that they have a very broad perspective of life. They always see the bigger picture. They have a big worldview. They are not limited by the environment. Another thing I've seen, a very good trait I've seen that we need to develop as transformers, as pacesetters, we must be optimists. We must be optimists. Great reformers don't see problems, they see opportunities. Even when problems is before them, they disregard, they ignore, they look at possibilities, they look at the positive side of life. That's an optimist. The pessimist will be fidgeting at every problem. They don't look at problems. Storms do not alarm reformers. Because they always remember from the beginning that it sometimes must cease. They will cease. Be an optimist. A hardened one. Don't worry about what others say. Just know it is possible. I can get this. Give me this mountain. Be very positive. Those are men that you see, look, if I have a staff meeting in those days and then it's difficult. You are just singing, you are just making noise. Just get it done. I don't care how you get it done. Sometimes reformers, disruptors can, you conclude that they don't have feelings, human feelings. Oh yes. During that process, when they need to get something done, please don't judge their feelings. Don't just say anything at that time, because you're not seeing the total, the complete man at that time. At that critical period, what they need to get done must be get done. Be optimist. Problems will only reinvigorate life in a disruptor. It brings life into them. Wow, problems. I'll face it. Why do you always die ahead of time? And you get sick. And some of us have even turned it into a song. Oh, you start speaking negativity. You must be an optimist. You must be an optimist. Be very positive about life. Be very focused and set your priorities right. Listen, I'm talking about disruptors. All these things I'm saying, it may not affect you. If you are not going to be enlisted as a disruptor, a transformer, a pace setter, please, just join this class for pleasure's sake, or take the next exit. Because the things you are saying here may not be pleasant to your ears. But I'm talking to those people who will not take no for an answer, that problems do not alarm. They are optimists. 2-3 years ago, we went on a family holiday to Orlando in Florida, and then after about 2.5 weeks of stay, suddenly the news broke out that a very terrible hurricane is going to sweep the entire Florida corridor in the United States. And the children began to panic. Daddy, you must change our ticket. We are going back. We can't experience it. They say it can kill somebody. They say it can do this and that. I say it's an experience. It's going to be an experience. We can't die here. It's an experience. They allow me to sleep. When they have to run out to go and change, to make an attempt to change the ticket, I was at the airport, and the airline staff told me all seats fully booked. That people are rushing out, so there is no, so you got to wait, or you take, go by road to other cities around, and then from there you take your next available flight and leave. So I came back, said, I have spoken, I have told you that let's experience it. It won't kill us, nothing to worry about. Because maybe I can learn 1 or 2 things from it, because I'm a transformer. Maybe there's one story God wants to teach me out of an hurricane, so I can come back and tell my local champion in Nigeria that you've never seen an hurricane, how it's, it looks like. And so the whole thing went like that, and just 2 or 3 days after that event, with serious pressure from the family, suddenly all these what do you call them? This geographical science, or what do you call them? These people, meteorologists. They came up with some, information that the hurricane has just changed its direction from the Florida city and is going to another direction. And so they were jubilating. Whether it comes, whether it doesn't come, I'm resolute. We set out again to fly, but we're approaching Washington, and then the pilot said we can't go forward. The storms are heavy. We need to stop by. And we stop by again. I'm just trying to tell you things that can make you lose your balance. They will come left and right and center. But what stands you out as a transformer, what stands you out as an innovator, as a creator, as someone who has something ahead of him, is remain very optimistic. And don't fidget, because in every problem, there is something that you're about to learn. In any problem. In fact, people these days, in this club, we're talking about the club of far problems than even possibility. Am I communicating to somebody? Look, why do you go to the office? To solve the problem. Why do you want to keep solving a problem that you know much about? The beauty of life is when you solve new problems, not the old ones. If you solve old problems, then there's nothing special about you. I tell you about another trait, another skill, so if anyone you feel like. And these two goes hand in hand together for any successful disruptors or innovator of our time. Many of us have one of them, we don't carry the two along. One of them is drive. You must have a very strong drive. I was asking Pastor Koejo, he said, is this project, CONFAB, your brainchild, your pet, and all that? He said, yes, he conceived it. Only God will tell what and what has come into place within him before this baby was born. Don't play with those visionaries. They are disruptors. Those who conceive ideas and translate those ideas into reality. They are great innovators. They have a strong drive, very strong drive. But what makes them outstanding is that they combine it with passion. So I call it passion and drive. Why do you need the two together? You can never have a lasting drive if you are not passionate. Passion is that keeps that drive going. And so you must be passionate about what you do. You must believe in what you do. Don't look at the crowd, don't look at anybody. Stay on point and be passionate about what you do. You must have a very strong drive. Very, very strong drive. And that also leads to the fourth one, curiosity. They all go together. If you are passionate, you'll be curious. You want to go an extra mile. You want to find out things. You want to know what is behind certain things. You want to go an extra mile. Somebody said, you want to stay ahead of the curve. You want to stay ahead of the curve. You're standing there to observe and see things others are not seeing. That's curiosity. You must find out. You must go ahead. When anyone give you an information, go and make an extra findings. You must always go an extra mile. And that's what will differentiate you from others. And that's why you must believe in change. That's the next one. You must believe in change. All these things are interwoven. Passion and drive, curiosity. And then your belief in change. That's what characterizes a reformer, a pacesetter. It is not, this is how beauty wania tetekoshi, ombeni sisi, beni osimari, titi aye, awonibeku. Me. How many of you attended those five conventions? I thought one of my leaders is still raising his hand. I thought he would not raise up his hand. Pastor Scrum, I thought he would not raise up his hand. Because I know him. Those people that attended those, that's what we do. You must believe in change. I was telling a pastor, one of our big pastors in the church, some years ago, I said the story. We were talking, and he said, it's wrong. It's very wrong. How can you be taking hyper into the church? It's very wrong. So all these are youth, they don't even know what they are doing. They will be taking forth into the church and be using it to read Bible. The Bible is the book and not the digital. The Bible says, rebuke not an elder. So I kept quiet because what are you? Disruptors don't like him now. You know. But there are times you say something. I don't want to talk. When I talk, you won't understand. Because the language of a transformer is completely strange to the people that are in the ordinary world. Look, in the real sense of it, Yoruba will say, when they say you are genuine, sometimes they say negative, but sometimes it can be positive. So I will call transformers genuine. Because they do things that they can't. Thank you very much. And so I kept quiet. But the Baba said, talk now. You won't talk. It's wrong. Try and castigate the student. Okay, sir. I prayed that Baba will be able to accommodate my view. And I said it. I said, Daddy, with all due respect, sir, a day is coming that we will not be going to physical church anymore. I didn't start from Bible. I took him further. I said, sir, a day is coming. We will be in the comfort of our rooms with our children, our wives, and we'll be listening to the gospel. And it will have more effect. And the church will not spend too much money. We will transfer our tithe and offering from the comfort of our room. We do everything. I didn't know COVID was coming. He called me during COVID. He said, and more is still coming. More is still coming. Do you know when God started his own digitalization process? Do you know when? All those things you call abracadabra. You think it's abracadabra. When someone will stand here among the disciples and he said, see the man taken away from you. See him taken away. And suddenly the man will be ascending. That's the Lord and Savior. You don't know you think it happens just like that? Okay, I tell you. Now, it has changed. The digitalization in heaven has changed from the experience in the Garden of Eden when God actually comes down and he moves in the garden. I don't know whether you remember. It comes down and though the Bible didn't tell us they saw it, but at least Adam felt that God is moving in the garden and he conversed with him heart to heart. There was a time they had to go to the mountain to communicate to him. They tell him all these rebellious ones, leave them, come up higher, come up either. And he go on the mountain and he talked with God. In fact, there was a record in the Bible where God has to show him his side of him. But now, suddenly, there is a wireless system heaven uses. The Bible says, anywhere you are. In fact, it's even when Father, he said, when you even imagine those things in your heart, God will hear you. That while you are yet speaking, he has heard. How did he hear? And at that time, he did not have these millions of people on the face of the earth. But today, they are in billions. And he still can coordinate everything. He has the data. I'm sure there is a data officer in heaven. All these things will see. Do you know when he has been operating in that level? And just now he's trying to show us a bit of himself. Do you know what we will say? We say it's the devil that is at work. If the devil has given us a technology that will make us to do positive things, I think we have to borrow it from the devil. See my pastor now, in the comfort of Abuja. Somebody is singing from India. Hallelujah. You didn't watch it yesterday. Oh my, I said God, comfort. Baba may not need to travel again, or sit down in the comfort of his room. And all is faithful across the globe. Thanks to God, thanks to technology. But there are people behind these mysteries. And those are the people I'm asking you to please join. Don't stay on the side of clapping and jumping up. Stay on the side of the people who are changing the world. You'll be remembered by what you have done. You will be. Believe in change. When you hear, I say, Baba, I told him that, I said, sir, this phone in your hand, you can carry it to Saudi Arabia, you will be challenged. If I get into Iran and land at the airport in Iran today and I carry a physical Bible, when they are doing a physical check of my